folks, it's Amy Leverton here from Denim Dudes. Good to see you, sort of, virtually, all. And hi to all the Canadians out there. I wanted to first say welcome, a little bit about what I do if you have never been to any of the Kingpins shows. We are their trend partner, and normally when we are roaming around the world, we are presenting our trends to an audience at the shows live. So the last couple of virtual shows, we have actually created videos online, and you can actually still buy the trend if you go onto the website, and I think it's /trend, and you can buy our PDF from last season. But what I thought I would do today, because we are nearly in October, which is crazy, what we're actually working on at the moment is the next season. So what I thought I would do today is I would go back and refresh a little bit on last season, one of the stories and one of the movements that we felt really strongly for, that we are seeing continue, and we're seeing it kind of expand and morph. And I'm going to kind of go through and give you a little bit of a sneak peek into the sort of thing that we're looking at for the new season, because we have started. So I'm going to get rid of this screen, and I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you a little bit of last season and then a little bit of novelty. So let's see. Okay. So, oh, hi, I'm still in the top right. That's useful. So basically, this story was called Peacenik, for those who remember the last presentation, Peacenik. And in here we had like 3 overarching themes and trends and movements that we felt were happening in the market. So these are kind of more market shifts than little macro trends. So we called the first one the Bohemians, which I still love that title. And really this is talking about this new consumer. It's talking about this quite contemporary market that is interested in brands who are more ethical, more environmental, more sustainable, of course, and a little bit more transparent as well. There is a bit of a like bohemian 70s hippie vibe and a really strong outdoors vibe, because this was our autumn winter story, but really it's very much about slower made product, more sustainable product, and you know, thinking about nature and balance, etc. So we were looking at brands like Bodhi, Phipps, Story MFG, and 18 East. We are still looking at brands like that because they are just awesome, but this was very much focused on those kind of names and those kind of brands. The other big movement in here was Cultivate Craft. So really, we felt so strongly, because everyone was sort of stuck in quarantine, we felt very strongly that this is obviously a big theme that's been happening for a while, but we felt that it was really going to be impacted by COVID, and it really has. A lot of videos and things like that have come out. People who are skilled at making things are showing other people how to make things, and it's become a really big movement, and is going to continue. So we were calling out people like Sway Shop, who are pictured here. They make a lot of the remake stuff for Patagonia. And we love everything that they do. And also Wrangler were doing little how-to videos and Instagram lives on how to like revamp an old pair of jeans, etc., etc. So obviously this was really key for not just from the craft movement and direction, but also from an environmental standpoint of making do, remending, etc., etc. The other big trend was Sustain Survive, and oh my goodness, this has come to the fore big time. I think what's really interesting now is we're approaching the end of the summer out in LA, and I have obviously had a lot of friends and of myself kind of like gone out and explored the kind of local nature, either on day trips or, you know, safe camping, etc., etc., out in the wild. So again, because at first you weren't really able to access campsites, you know, they were kind of like the the very epitome of where you're going to, you know, catch coronavirus when you're sharing facilities, etc., etc. So everyone was sort of doing these sort of camping into the wild things. So this definitely has had a huge, I mean, it's had a huge impact on the outdoors market and on staycations and stuff like that, and road trips. So these were the three sort of overarching themes that kind of went into Peacenik. What I'm going to do now is I am going to stop my screen share if I can. Let's see. I think I need to escape from here. Stop share. Then I'm going to restart with a different window. There we go. And so now I am showing you my desktop. I'm sharing a few different companies, brands, individuals who are doing awesome things that we are going to start talking about for next season as well. So people who have emerged and come out of the market in the last few months, or have been going for a while but have hit our radar, or are hitting the headlines at the moment, that really sit in with this theme and are going to kind of push this movement into the next season. So we're going to be talking about all of these guys in October. So first off, we have Leah Thomas. She's amazing. So her Instagram handle is Green Girl Leah. And she is the founder of the Intersectional Environmentalist, who I've also picked up her Instagram feed. So I'm going to show you that in a second. So this is her personally. And, you know, we've talked about this in the past, you know, purpose-driven influencers, and how this has become a new emerging area of Instagram and of the influencer market that's really taken off. You know, I think people are very much moving away from you know, the more vacuous, more shallow influencer, and onto influencers who are really trying to teach, trying to open people's minds to other ways of living or other things to do. So basically, she is advocating things like what mattress to buy, beauty regimes. Elle has talked about her. Fashionista have talked about her. I think she's been in Vogue, she's been on Goop. And what's really cool about her is she has definitely been almost bridging the gap between sustainability and social justice as well. So being a woman of color, she has kind of really lent into that after the George Floyd murder and subsequent protests and the Black Lives Matter protests and movement. She's been like a real advocate for both, which is really, really cool. So if we then look at her, sorry, there we go. This toolbar is very annoying at the top there. So this is her feed. And in here, there's a lot of graphics. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this on your Instagram feeds of how you can do better. There's a little slideshows of different, you know, either learning about something new or how you can do better. I love this particular graphic as well. I think this really speaks to new season as well. Your 3 homes, take proper care of them: your body, the earth, and your mind, which I think is really cool. So she is really worth following, and her page, the Intersectional Environmentalist, is definitely worth following too. Next up, Future Earth, another environmental driven site and feed. They're really cool, and I particularly loved this graphic here that just went up yesterday, went up yesterday. Climate is the intersection of everything, and I think that's very, very true. At the moment, like Leah's last slide about thinking about mind, body, and earth, very, very important, thinking about it all holistically. They also on here have really handy graphics, which I love. This is talking about all the different foods out there and their impacts on the environment. So as you can see, beef is a no-no, lamb is a no-no, crustaceans are a no-no. I love eggs and cheese, and it looks like cheese is not the greatest, eggs not so bad, but I would be better eating beans and tofu. So there you go. That's another really, really cool Instagram to follow. Now, we spoke about this lady last season, Sway Shop, but the reason I wanted to pull out this feed yet again is because Lindsay, the founder, has really, since we last used them as our research and reference, she has been going to town. You know, during the pandemic, some companies step up, some step down. She has stepped up massively. So she has been campaigning for garment workers' pay here in LA. She's also, because of everything that's been happening with COVID, garment workers have been severely suffering. So as you can see, these veggie boxes here, she's been making these food boxes, and what people can do who have a little bit more money than others who are still in work, they can buy a food box every week. They grow a lot of this food themselves. They have a farm. They have a manufacturing facility. It's all around the corner from me, actually. I haven't visited her in person, but I'm excited to. So in here, you can buy one of their boxes, and for every box that's sold, a box goes to a family of a garment worker, which is so cool. So definitely worth following what they've been up to. They've been making masks, and then they're continuing to do their remade stuff that they've been doing for Patagonia and various different people. As you can see, they've got a farm and all kinds of amazing things. They've honestly have blown my mind, the amount of energy and effort they've been going into to make the world a better place. So I love them. Next up, we have the dogwood dyer, Liz. Now, we talked about Liz last season as well. She's just had a baby. Oh, congratulations, Liz. So there's quite a lot of baby pictures at the front end of her Instagram. But we talked about her before. She is a local natural dyer and continuing to do amazing things with natural dye. And then Cara Marie Piazza, we've mentioned her before in other seasons. And why I wanted to call her out here is because she has really been leaning into social justice issues during the Black Lives Matter protests, and she's been making masks as well. She's been hosting really awesome Instagram lives with amazing and inspirational people, and getting involved with amazing causes. So she is a really, really cool woman to watch, continue to watch. So next up, we have, Colleen Estrada, and obviously it looks like I've been already looking at her. So Colleen Estrada, we've talked about before. I think she's really, really cool, but I really wanted to highlight this project that just came out. They collaborated with Brown's Fashion and went into partnership with the Oris Present. And basically what she has done is she has created a project around waste in Ghana. And so what she has done is she's worked on remaking garments, really cool garments that you can see here, really awesome graphics and really awesome garments. And she has taken these from the Cantamanto market, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, in Ghana, and creating these other beautiful upcycled and remade garments. So the idea is to, like, you know, really express a need for you know, change, and you know, moving away from the excessive waste that we have in our market. Also, you know, also really highlighting this issue that happens with a lot of the secondhand clothes in Ghana, and really creating an amazing collection to sort of highlight that, which is really cool. Next up, who have we got next? Oh, great name, Bloke from Nigeria. An amazing brand. CNN have recently written about Bloke, actually, and called, I really like how they've called them out as Nigeria's hyper-local fashion revolution, leading that revolution. So this amazing brand highlights craft in the region, a lot of handcrafted garments, a lot of handcrafted techniques and traditions from Africa, and has created this amazing brand. So they're really, really worth looking at. Nigerian-based Bloke, great name. And then finally, I just wanted to call out, I think it's either Massaman or Mason, but basically the guy is actually called Mason McPhee. He's actually based down the road from us in San Francisco, and he makes these incredible patches. And I think it's a really nice idea. It's hand done, but it's hand done using machines, so like freehand machine work. And he creates these amazing one-of-a-kind patches. It's just an inspirational, like there's a lot of great inspirations from his, you know, in images from his studio, and some of the work he does. He's an illustrator too, and it's just got a beautiful aesthetic. So that's just a little glimpse into what we're looking at for next season. You know, absolutely loving a lot of those newer names, or names that we mentioned before but are doing new things. And that's just like a little glimpse of what you're going to expect for next season when you tune in to the Amsterdam virtual Kingpins 24 next season. I think that's going to be around mid-October. So I hope that was inspirational for you. Lots of exciting people to follow and stuff to look at. And I'm excited to see you all again in October. Have a great rest of the show. Thank you. Bye-bye.